concept behind Iran-Shahid drones, India's KAL could become a major force multiplier along the borders with Pakistan and China. On point to examine the political battle over the proposed amendment to the FCRA, the government says the changes are needed to protect national security, curb foreign interference, and bring greater transparency in the use of foreign funds. Critics, however, argue that the bill expands executive powers, tightens control over NGOs. In on point 3, we discussed Sheikh Hasina with former Indian diplomat Veena Sikri. Bangladesh government has been outraged over Sheikh Hasina's press conference in India. In on point 4, we look at the innovative solution to Bengaluru's annual flooding crisis while cities invest in bigger drains and smarter technologies. One retired army officer believes the answer lies in restoring Bengaluru's lakes, lies in its tunnels. Let's hear from the captain, Santosh Kumar. And now let's take a quick look at the headlines. Founder of Toyota magazine, Tarun Tejpal, sentenced to 10 years of imprisonment in 2013 rape case. Centre reduces timeline for removal of unlawful content on social media from 36 to 3 hours. Ministry of IT also makes AI content labeling mandatory. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge backed student protesters in Jharkhand, said both he and Rahul Gandhi stand firmly with students irrespective of which state they belong to. CJP founder Abhijit Dipke announces nationwide Kya Bolti public campaign to gauge public concern, says campaign to focus on education and other pressing national issues. And now on point 1. India is preparing to add a new indigenous strike weapon to its growing drone arsenal, which is capable of hitting targets 1,000 kilometers away. It's called KAL, the one-way attack drone that has been designed and manufactured in India by indigenous defense company IG Drones and is expected to be deployed along the line of actual control and line of control. The KAL drone is based on the same broad concept as Iran's Shahid drone or the Lucas drone, low-cost, long-range, one-way attack drone that has become a defining feature in the modern conflict. A cheap alternative to high-definition weaponry. So what makes KAL significant? KAL is significant because it has a range of 1,000 kilometers. It can remain airborne from 7 to 8 hours. It can loiter and can carry a payload of up to 50 kilograms. It is designed to strike enemy tanks, bunkers, military, outposts. Autonomous navigation and precision targeting system is there, which allows it to strike deep inside the enemy territory. Unlike conventional drones, KAL is not designed to return after a mission. It's there to loiter and hunt down the enemy. It is a one-way drone attack, often referred to as a kamikaze drone, which is to destroy its target crashing onto it. Such systems are classified as loitering munitions and have gained tremendous prominence in conflicts around the world. According to company, KAL is expected to be deployed very soon. Now, let me, without wasting any more time, why KAL is very important, why loitering munition has become very important, why it has become sort of a great leverage to the middle powers to take on the great powers. I'm joined by Group Captain V.N. Jha on a one-to-one conversation, a senior scientist and former Joint Director at DRDO. Sir, how important these loitering munitions are in tactical battlefield areas, sir?
Oh, absolutely important, and it could be a game changer. Because this is the first.
Can you speak a little loudly, sir?
Yeah, sorry. Well, it is a very, very important thing, and it could be a game changer for the entire, war field of the nation or our adversaries in the surroundings. Look what happens. This is the first company which has come on its own with a drone technology, which is a combat drone, and which has got phenomenal amount of capability with this. Right now, I can tell you only this much, that DRDO doesn't have any active role in its design and development, and it is fully indigenous. Every subsystem is indigenous. Could be that India has got great skill subsystems and systems of the aviation technologies, like aerodynamic control, navigation control in 3D, guidance system with loitering. We have got drones, which has got these are the skill field where India has got a lot of skill. They are the core components of many of our DRDO labs. Guidance system with loitering, target acquisition, FPV, or the space communication system, and integrating it with that one, or maybe the global navigation system. So combining everything together with the warhead delivery. So these are the areas where the companies might have sought some amount of expertise from the DRDO. Otherwise, DRDO doesn't have any role into it. Now coming back to this KAL drone, it is really KAL because it has got a huge amount of carrying capacity of the explosive and high grade explosive. And the best thing is it's a fixed wing drone with the hybrid system of the propulsion. When I tell you the hybrid system is there could be more than one type of propulsion system, maybe initiations with a rocket, and then its own fuel system that takes over for hours together of a low speed loitering or low speed cruising. That is how it is to be there. Another thing which is great
Mr.
about this.
I want to ask you one thing. Mr. I want to ask you one thing, very quickly. Sir, how are these different from the so-called American Predator zones which we saw in Hollywood films? And why swarm drones are something which is redefining the battlefield, sir?
Well,
imagine a swarm of KAL drones, sir.
Yeah. Kartikeya, we have to understand the distinction between the American Predator and the kamikaze, so-called kamikaze. Kamikaze is nothing but suicidal drone. It goes, it is a one-way ticket, it is a one-way navigation to the target and hit that target, destroying itself. So there isn't no two-way ticket. It doesn't have a guarantee to come back. So it is a kamikaze. It is not a predator. Predator drone is the one which keeps on loitering at convenient airspace where you can sustain. There is no enemy threat. And at that place, from that place, it has a reconnaissance. It does the monitoring of entire area, and wherever there is a threat on the ground, or there's a target on the ground, like say terrorist hideout or something else, enemy depots, there it releases its munition, and these munitions are mostly in the underbelly of those predator drone. And there are numerous missiles.
Okay.
Primary distinction: the predator drone is designed to remain airborne for 12 hours, 24 hours, 26 hours. You can just launch it and it remains airborne for over a very long period. It is a very large airframe which has got that much of fuel with it. And of late, I'm also hearing that even the electrical system, solar system, is coming into the wings of some of the latest being developed drones, so that it can remain airborne for very long time, especially in the daytime. So these are the major differences between the predator drone that Americans have. That's a very high-end technology, and the simple the kamikaze suicidal drones that the Iranians had developed, or even the world has developed. Many other countries also had developed the kamikaze.
So how is this different, sir? How is this different, sir? That is what I wanted to know from you. How is this different?
Now, drones can be of a few $1,000s, or it could be $1 million. It all depends on the type of systems and subsystems that you have employed into this. This particular technology employs fairly low cost. It is using many of the systems and subsystems, the vital part of which is certified with various agencies. But the other part, say like warhead delivery, it is not to be certified. The target acquisition, you have got the inbuilt camera, both for the daytime as well as the nighttime with the IR capability. So all these things you have got, these are not the high-end aviation cameras or technologies which cost fortunes. Each camera or each transmission capability costs fortune. You can have a simple transmission, or you can have satellite-based transmission. Satellite-based transmission has got the advantage that it cannot be jammed, it cannot be distorted, it cannot be stopped. But the direct transmission, like this particular Kal drone has got, it sends you the war-filled scenario visuals on the rear. But then there's a problem that it can be jammed. But it also carries the equipment that it can jam the jammer itself. ECM, ECCM, when we talk about, all those things are capable here in this particular drone. It all depends.
Are we saying that, I know this is a infantry enabler, but is drone warfare redesigning or reinventing or making artillery and tanks obsolete, sir?
No, artillery and tank will never be obsolete, because when you have to enter the enemy's territory, you have to be armed with all those things, including fighter aircraft. But when you can, as long as you can fight from your own territory by sending these small drones, it is a low cost warfare that you can sustain over a long time and inflicting equally severe losses on the enemy. But one thing that everyone must know, this particular first company, ID Aviation Defense, is the one which has made this drone. And I wish Indian government, Indian armed forces also acquire some of these things, because they have to sustain in the market. Suppose if there is no buyer from the third world country or the Gulf countries, how will it sustain? Now India also needs drone. We in defense, we are also producing drone. So there's no harm in having different types of drones. We already have some type of drone already operationalized and deployed. This can also be.
Sir, what time was to First World War is drone is to today's war? What was tank to the First World War, or Stringer to the Afghan war?
Yeah.
Does drone stand for today's war, sir?
Obviously, it is not only today's war. It is for the futuristic war. Look, when me and you are discussing all these things here, there will be a designing table in this ID defense itself, which will be looking into the value additions into the technology, both in technology system, weaponry systems, target acquisitions, communication system. Right now, it is the global communication system of various countries that is going to be employed in this particular drone, because the Gulf countries are using the Western systems. But there could be another country which is using the Russian system, GLONASS. So some communication could be with the GLONASS or Chinese communication system. So there is a flexibility to use a particular type of communication, because it is a two-way communication. This particular Kal drone, it sends you the image of the battlefield, and it lets you FPV, first person view. So you have that, and you continue operating those systems to suit yourself, to position yourself, to loiter in the zone, and when the situation becomes favorable, dash it there, crash it there, and destroy the target. So all these are required. That is why so much of attention is being given, that while you are in control of the drone, its system, its warhead, its target, its jamming, its ECCM capability, you are also using it as a standalone system. Tomorrow we will have a chip. Now we are entering the chip market. Tomorrow there will be chip into which you feed in the data that this drone should continue flying at 100 meter above ground level till the distance there, when the loitering system, the logic in that takes over and then guides the drone like what it has been flying without being.
Okay. But I think this has been
detected by the radar system.
Absolutely. So I'm very short of time, but this is also about indigenization of our military technology, and that is why I thought it's fit enough to call you and have this discussion. because ultimately the more we depend on ourselves, the better it is for the defense of the country. And this represents Atmanirbharta, which the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been talking about. Low cost and high impact strike drones are very much required. They're great infantry enabler. And this is all I had on point one. But to my viewers, don't go away, because once I am back after a short break, we will talk about the big FCRA row that has erupted in Parliament. Opposition says that this is going to victimize minority institutions. The government says the curb is required so that the foreign countries do not end up dictating the ideological and social outcomes of protest movements in India. After short.
Dear bestie, how can I thank you? They say the truest friendships cannot be manufactured. They simply unfold naturally. How true that is for us, bestie. Love from Bestie Collection. Natural diamond bracelets for you and your bestie.
Bunty, the house needs to be painted, but painting is more expensive now. So your e-bike is cancelled.
Be naya zamana. Birla Opus is giving 10% free paint. So now paint worry free.
10% free paint only with Birla Opus.
The fallout from the deadly ambush on the church leaders in Manipur is now rapidly escalating across the hill districts.
Unfortunately, the government has